Just wondering how important Riley was in the first half while everybody else was kind of struggling offensively.
Riley's been doing great as of late. I mean, I think it started with the week of LSU game. He had a great week of practice, getting extra shots up before and after practice. Then he had a great performance that night, and then he's carried it over, and that's been big for us. And it doesn't surprise me to see him have a great first half like that. We were just joking around. I think we traded roles. I was a slasher at the beginning of the season. Now he's taking to the basket, getting to the free throw line. I'm the three-point specialist, going 2 for 5. But he's been doing great for us.
First, this is for Riley. What's been the key for your last couple games, the offensive rhythm?
I think it's my teammates. They do a great job of penetrating. Braxton, Avery, Dazon, Corbin, they get 2 on the ball, so that makes it easy. They find me, I'm wide open. Makes it easier for me to have a wide open 3. But yeah, definitely my teammates. They make it easy for me.
And for Braxton, what was discussed at halftime, the kind of adjustments you guys made offensively?
Just getting out and running. And then we were just playing way too slow. We knew that their zone was going to slow us down, but we should have just pushed the tempo a little bit more, and we did. And I thought we got in transition and it made things a little bit easier and forced them to go man-to-man, and we shot them out of the zone.
For both players, Missouri's head coach described it as an ugly game. Given the way y'all won some games recently, was it good to just kind of grind one of these kind of ugly games out?
Yeah, anytime you win, especially SEC game, tough every night. So, yeah, it was a good win for us, I thought. We got some stuff we can correct, and we're going to go to the film tomorrow and look at it and move on from it and get better from it. And we got a big game on Saturday.
Yeah, like Riley said, just grinding out any single game here is big. Just getting yourself one game closer to first place and just separating yourself from everyone else. It's big time.
Braxton, just obviously had a couple fouls early on in the first half that sort of limited how involved you were. Just how hard is it for you to sit on the bench and watch your team in that position? And then how hard is it not to press early in the second half to try to sort of make up for lost time?
Oh, it's not hard at all. I mean, it's not the first time I've been in foul trouble, so especially within the SEC. So I've learned to it. I have to adjust second half. But watching my guys, Riley stepped up. I mean, everyone's capable of stepping up. So I have a lot of confidence in my teammates when I come off the court and have to watch and just cheer. And then second half, I guess pressing, I don't really think of it. I just go out and play my game.
Wondering for both you guys, what the deal with the free throw shooting? I think at one point you guys were 9 for 24. I guess what's the deal?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think I'll take the blame for most of it. I could think I started the missing, but no, it's just concentration. I know I got to work on my free throws. I don't miss 3 like I did tonight, but I think it's just concentration and just focusing. I think sometimes we get distracted by everything else, but it's just repetition. Just seeing the ball go through.
Yeah, like Riley said, just focusing and concentrating. Taking our time, gathering ourselves. I mean, it's a free throw. It should be easy, the easiest points in the game. No one's guarding you, so just being able to step up to the line and shoot them with confidence, like Coach tells us each and every day.
Tony, this is your last question. I guess for both of y'all, it's the second straight game where you guys really turned it on in the second half and really shot a lot better. Is there corrections you guys are making at halftime that are contributing to that, or what's really behind that?
Yeah, there's always corrections. We thought we were playing too slow, like Braxton said earlier. They're sitting back in that zone. And Coach came in, made some adjustments. We started moving the ball more, as you saw, create a lot of open windows. And like I said, Braxton knocked down some threes. Avery knocked down some threes. Dazon. So, it just created open shots for us.
And, yeah, just speeding up the game. We knew we were playing way too slow. We attacked their zone with some different plays that we weren't running in the first half. And I think that's why we executed a lot better second half.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, tonight, this was another game, back-to-back games, where we were really efficient on the offensive end, all right? I thought we were pretty good defensively in the first half. Our defense slipped in the second half. But I thought this was another game where we saw the potential for us to become a balanced basketball team. So I'm proud of our guys, the way we moved the ball. The ball was just moving. We weren't standing around. They weren't looking at me trying to get a play call. They took some responsibility. And I liked the way the ball was moving in the second half, and we were ready to shoot. And we took quality shots in the second half, both inside and outside the three-point line. So another game where we've scored over 40 points in a half. Wow, that's a miracle. Y'all can laugh, right? Laugh. Well, y'all been laughing at me on Twitter for 24 hours. But again, you know, we rebound. We're a rebounding team. We're a defensive team. But you know, here's another game where we're showing that we can be a really good offensive team if we take care of the ball and the ball moves and we finish our shots inside. Now, again, this is another game where we have to get better at the free throw line. All right? You know, we're getting the ball inside. We're getting the ball in the paint. So we got to step up there and have that confidence. Even if we miss one, we got to have the confidence that we can make the next one. All right? Like I tell our boys, when you miss a free throw, we're going to still feed you at the training table. Okay? We're not going to cut your meal card off. So hopefully they'll relax and continue to get better. But overall, I'm pleased with our effort.
Coach Anderson described this game as an ugly game, and there was a one point, I think, early or midway through the first half where you missed 13 of 14, but then turned it on. What changed there after that little, I guess, about the 6-minute mark in the first half? And then was it nice to kind of grind out one of these kind of games?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, you know, for a team that had been struggling early in conference play, you know, Coach Anderson has his guys playing hard. He's a good man. Overall, I like the symbol of coaches that we have in our conference. But Kim is a good man, and he was a good player, by the way. But even if it was ugly, I'll take as many of these ugly wins as we can throughout the rest of conference, because sometimes we do have to play ugly because of, you know, our decision making on the offensive end sometime. But I thought for us, you know, in the first half, we just needed to score a little bit more, but we were playing some pretty good defense, except for getting in the bonus too early, which has been another Achilles heel for us on the defensive end.
Coach, you out-rebounded them 39-31, which you had said going into the game was one of your priorities. Was that up to your level of expectation? Yeah,
we still let a few get away from us. A couple of 50-50 balls where our guards, our smaller guards in particular, have to clean up some free throws around the free throw line. But, you know, I think I shared this with you guys yesterday when we opened our practice up to the media, that rebounding was going to be a telltale sign for us of how successful we were going to be in this game, because sometime, you know, with their team, a missed shot can be a good shot. We couldn't afford to give them multiple shots at the basket. So for us to hold them to 5 offensive rebounds, that's a check in that department.
Mark? Just 5 games in the SEC play. What do you feel like the team is right now?
We're continuing to become a team that's getting better at paying attention to details. We're a team that's finally developing some better chemistry on the floor. You know, your best teams can throw a pass blindfolded because they know where their teammate's going to be. So they're starting to read each other a little bit more. You know, we inserted Corbin back in the lineup today, and then we brought AJ off the bench. So once we get Corbin playing like a starter, AJ giving us a spark off the bench, then that's going to take us to another level, because we've seen what Corbin did against LSU coming off the bench, but then AJ struggled starting. So I think once we get that solid guard play from our starting guards, because we think they're capable of playing like all SEC guards, then that's going to continue to help us move forward.
2 quick ones. The first, where's the team's confidence at this point after this win?
See, you try. The team is confident, but not overconfident. They're working hard. I think the main thing is they're confident in our abilities to get stops and rebound. we want that same confidence to move into, when teams zone us. We need that consistent confidence. We're getting it in from one half but not both halves. We get stagnant, so that hurts our confidence. So I just think in terms of they have confidence in knowing what win games for us and how we could be successful. Now we just need it to be repetitive throughout a longer stretch of the game. For example, tonight in a 40-minute game, we probably played 22, 24 really good minutes. That's not going to work moving forward.
Just real quick, you talked about the free throw shooting. What do you think is behind the problems with the free throw line?
Well, I think some of our guys that are really good free throw shooters, when they get to the line, we're not using our legs enough. We're rushing. We're not getting our fingers set on the ball. So if you're not using your legs, if your fingers are moving and you're not set and breathing properly, then, maybe your success rate is going to not be as high. But you guys in our open practice again, on yesterday, you saw that was a big point of emphasis. Free throw situations, rebounding, but the guy taking the free throw, trying to put guys in pressure situation. But all of our guys, whether it's Dejon, Corbin, AJ, Braxton, Riley, we have confidence in those guys shooting free throws. Jimmy was shooting it pretty good coming into this game. So he and Dante, they're capable of shooting a higher percentage of where they are now, and they'll get there. We got a lot of confidence in them, but we're going to continue to work on it. Tomorrow, instead of 100 free throws, it'll be 150. And we're going to have other situations where we work on free throws and conditioning to try to get their legs to a point where their legs are going to feel at the end of a game.
Two questions, Coach. Just talk about, did you think in the first half that they got some open looks at three, but that they were kind of settling for the threes too much and not getting the ball inside against the zone and attacking the gaps of the zone?
You talking about our team?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Drew. Well, I think in the first half of the 14 threes that we attempted, probably 5 of them we could have gotten inside the defense and tried to get the ball in the paint and make some short passes or make the defense collapse and get a wide open three on the backside. So there were about 4 or 5 threes I thought that were contested.
And for a lot of the people tonight, they enjoyed seeing the 87 team back. You've been you've embraced the history of the program. How was it to have them here and to kind of you've had a lot of vision for where you want to take this program?
Yeah, it was all funny because when they were walking in the Coliseum, all of them were limping. And I was saying, why are you guys all limping, man? What's going on? But I was just having a little fun with them. And they came out and talked to our players before the game. And to have guys that I played against, played with, man, it was magical to have those guys in. And Wimp talked to the team, and he gave them a pretty strong talk. Of course, he was not going to give them a soft talk, but he gave them a pretty stern talk about what worked for their team and why they were successful. And those things haven't changed. Playing unselfish, being a good teammate, rebounding the basketball, and as Wimp said, taking and making wide open shots. So it was pretty cool to have all of those guys, Derek McKee and Farmar and Connor and Godfrey, have all of those guys back in the building today. It was pretty neat to have those guys, and we want to continue to honor our lettermen. That's a strategic part of my tenure here. We want to make those guys feel welcome.
You mentioned you weren't super thrilled with the defense in the second half, but how important was it that Missouri, I don't think they made more than a 5-point run and never really, made a run at y'all. How significant is that?
It's big, but, there were some stretches there at the end of the game where we had a double-digit lead and they kind of broke us down a little bit, and we didn't do a good job of guarding the middle and the side ball pick and roll, and we relaxed and give them credit. They kept coming at us. They didn't stop. There was no surrender. But, I just think it was a tale of two halves in terms of how we played defensively. Much better in the first half than the second half, and offensively. But it always gives me something to review with our team. And, we'll get back at it tomorrow. We have, obviously, it's a big day on campus tomorrow for obvious reasons, but in the meantime, we have to get back in the lab and work hard and get ready for our next game, which we understand is, like all of our games, playing on the road is tough in our league. Okay?